All right, we're going to continue with our post-race media availabilities here, now being joined by the team owner of Joe Gibbs Racing, Joe Gibbs. And Joe, as you get settled there, I'll give you a quick opening question. When we had that final restart, we had Denny and Kyle battling together. I'm sure you were glad to have two in the hunt, but that also can provide a little bit of nervousness there. Just talk a little bit about those final laps, and then ultimately Denny bringing home the checkered flag here in a race that he's, been working to win for many, many years now.
Well, I've always said when I get the most nervous is when two of our cars are up there late, because both of them want that so bad. You could tell Kyle was after it, Denny was, and so that's your greatest fear. The restart before that, the two lead cars took each other out, and that's what you're, so afraid of. That race, I don't know how to explain it, really. There was so much in it. I guess I've used a football term, that was physical. I mean, there were people pounding on each other. And really, really proud of, we had some real disappointments on the 20 tonight, really hurt Chris. I felt bad about that, and Martin, and Bass Pro. Johnny was here. You just hate that. So you hate the disappointments, like with DeWalt, but then you have the thrill of victory there. I think Kyle gave it everything, and to wind up with our two cars up there like that at the end, it was really special. That pit crew, just for everybody here, you probably already have heard that, but two of those guys, that was only the second time they ever went over the wall. That was our crew that was filling in for our suspended group. So really, it was a great story. That's one of the great things about sports. I think that's the reason why we always like it, sports, so much. It's the greatest reality show in the world. Nobody pictured that tonight would be our two cars winning, and the stories that are all behind that. That's one of the most, obviously challenging races to go 600 miles, and I got to tell you, it was a thrill for me to be a part of it. God's blessed us with so much. Coy, myself, and I always think of JD when we win a race like that, particularly here. So just really appreciate being a part of it.
All right, we'll go to questions now here in the media center for Joe. We'll start with Trenton. We'll come up to Steve, and then we'll go to Steven in the back.
Check. There we go. Hey, Joe, Trent with TrentStretch.com. You're talking about having two cars battling it at the end right there. What is it like you, especially with the coaching background, having to coach these guys through the highs with Danny and Kyle Busch, being disappointed with that finish, and then like you were talking about with Chris and Martin and those guys, just how are you coaching those guys, behind the scenes, with different, personalities and different emotions, right after a race like this?
Yeah, I think first of all, the reason why I do really enjoy the fact that it's totally different than football from the standpoint you got four teams. You're trying to get four teams to work together. That's really hard. It's very different. And I think that's the reason why I think so many of our fans, love the challenge of it. They know that. And so that's something about our sport that's really different and a real challenge. At the race shop, we work together, four cars. At the racetrack, we're competing against each other. Our sponsors are such a big story, like FedEx tonight, getting to call, Fred and Raj and Catherine, Monica, everybody over there. It's just a great experience. Call Bob Carter from Toyota and Jack and Dave. So that's a big part of the story. Then the personalities, our drivers are very different and very different personalities. I think we got a great group there, though. They share everything in our competition meetings, and I think it really makes us better. And so anyway, I'm just thrilled to be a part of it.
All right, get a mic up here too, Steve.
Hey, Joe. Steve Reed from the Associated Press. Two-part question. First of all, Denny talked about this being so special to him. I wonder if you knew how special this was to him. And secondly, what is it about the Toyotas that have kind of figured it out on these mile and a halves, it seems?
Yeah, I would say with Denny, you know, to race that hard, that long, and to be here and know how important this race is. Right here in our backyard, this is just a huge deal. I've had experiences here where Bobby Labonte won his first race here and everybody was crying in the winner's circle. It's very emotional and everything that goes with it. I really, you know, thank Bruton and Marcus for all they do here. This is a real showpiece for us. Think about this. Our race team is here in Charlotte, so we have our sponsors come here all the time. And a part of their weekend, besides studying and meeting at our place, they get to come over here. Our interstate group, we've been with them 31 years. They came over here in road cars. Christopher took them around, made laps, and then they got to drive cars themselves. You talk about an experience and something that people are not going to forget. So it's a thrill for us to obviously be here and be a part of all this. And I appreciate them. And, you know, I had a chance to yell at Bruton on his 90th birthday, man. That was awesome. Bruton and I have shared a few things too in the past. I think it's fun kind of being a part of all this.
Stephen Toronto, CBS Sports. Coach, the last time the Coke 600 was as eventful as tonight's was 2005, and that was the race where Bobby Labonte ended up losing it off of turn 4, lost it in a photo finish to Jimmy Johnson. When the Coke 600 is like this, I'm sure that it's a very mentally, emotionally taxing race. So after all that, after all of what we saw tonight, what is it like to be on the other end of a race like this?
Well, it's a thrill. You know, first of all, when we come here, it's going to be the longest, and tonight, I would say, like I said, one of the most physical, exhausting, and punishing races. And so to go through all that and to survive it, really, and have a chance to win it, and to have 3 of our cars up there. I hated it with Martin. He actually, I think, finished 12th or something like that. So really, really proud of our guys, proud of our people. It's always you win with people. It's not cars. And we got great people. I just thank God that, you know, that we're a part of a real family race team. That's really what it is. We got people, and this Christmas we gave out 30-year celebrations to some of our people who've been there 30 years and built the race team.
Which one of the Hogs do you think would have lasted this long in this race?
The Hogs, man, I got to tell you. I remember those guys, too. Those are a few memories. But I don't quite understand the question there. What was it?
Joe Jacoby.
Jacoby. You were talking about the Hogs.
Yes, I was.
You talk about a group now that'll turn you inside out. Is that group? No, I was blessed to be around great players in the NFL, and I've been blessed to be around great players here. Guys that really, Chris Gabehart organizing all that, doing all he had to do this week. You know, he's the coach here.
Thank you.
All right, real quick before we go upstairs for a question and then come back downstairs, just a quick follow-up, Joe, to Steve's second question related to this current success of Toyota.
Oh, well, the wins, we've got off to a slow start this year. We haven't the wins, but I do think over the last 3 weeks, you know, we're starting to find our way. I think with the new car, it's just a different package. And like I said, other people, you know, have done a better job than we did earlier. And so we're playing a little bit catch up. I think right now, though, we've starting to find our way.
All right, we're going to go upstairs for a question from Jim Utter. Go ahead, Jim.
Jim Utter, motorsports.com for Coach. You alluded to this a little earlier. On pit road tonight, you had some successes, obviously the 11 team, some problems on a couple of the others. I was just wondering, David Wilson had talked recently about the effort to try to get pit road cleaned up for an organization that's kind of been one of the tops on pit road. Has this been a difficult problem to address?
Yes, it's a totally different challenge. We have single lug nut now, total different choreography, and you know, we've some people have handled it better than we have, and so certainly, I really feel terrible that we've hurt Christopher and DeWalt and Tonight Yahoo and his sponsors there, and we've also hurt Martin, and so it really is. You really feel like you let people down when that happens. So we're behind. We got to find a way to fix it. So to me, it's most of the time that's hard work. We got some of our crews are going 2-a-days, so we need to find a way to fix it.
Okay, we're going to come back downstairs and take a final question here from Bob.
Bob Parkhurst, Fox Sports. You said you kind of didn't even know how to explain this race. Saw a lot of tires. You saw drivers spinning out. We saw a car flip. Was this a good day for the next gen car?
Yeah, I think, yeah. I think for sure everybody else will judge that, but I felt like certainly was a lot of action and everything. I think it, like I said, it was I would say this was a real challenge. I mean, if you can get through that, everything that happened tonight, a lot did happen. And so I know everybody, all the fans will kind of, make a decision on that. I think all of us that are racing the cars still getting to know it, and I think we're making improvements as we go with it, and I think NASCAR is fully on board, and so that's really good, and I think our fans, I know we've had some real good races, and there's been real positives with it.
All right. Joe, thank you for spending some time
You
with
bet.
us.
Thank y'all.
We really appreciate it, and congratulations again on that win.